Today I'm going to be talking about some of the tools I feel are the most important on fixing a laptop and computers in general. First tool I'm going to be using is not particularly a tool, but a utensil. It's just a plastic cup. Any sort of container will work. I mean, the reason I feel this tool is important is because you're going to be using a lot of small parts, taking apart and putting together your laptop again. So a container is a nice way to keep them all together, you know, versus leaving them on like a flat surface where you could potentially lose them. Next tool is going to be a pair of tweezers. The reason I feel these are important again are you're going to be dealing with a lot of small parts in case like a screw falls into the laptop and your hands are a little bit too big to fit into the laptop. Taking out the CPU to grab the handles that the CPU is attached to, that might be another way you want to use the tweezers as well. One other important note about the tweezers is that, you know, these are a pair of metal tweezers, but I would highly suggest getting a pair of plastic tweezers for this, just because the metal tweezers might be, you know, they might scrape up inside of the computer and might potentially damage the computer. Whereas the plastic ones, they have a much smaller chance of, you know, actually scraping or damaging anything. One other tip I'd like to mention too is that, you know, with the tweezers too, this helps as far as your fingers might be greasy or, you know, any other sort of dirt on them. The tweezers are useful just to take it out and have a nice, safe, flat, dry area. Pick up the CPU in this example and, you know, potentially put it wherever you need to. So. Next tool I have is just a simple screwdriver. You want a screwdriver that's probably about this size to get it into the laptop. You know, obviously, again, the reason I feel this is an important tool is, you know, you have to usually get screws off of like covers to actually get into the laptop. Without the screwdriver, you're not going to be able to get in there very easily. I just have this screwdriver is probably, again, the size you want for the laptop. Just one other thing I want to mention too is that sometimes screwdrivers, you know, especially that come with like repair kits, they usually have a screwdriver that'll have multiple heads on top of it. Like this screwdriver, for example, it has 8 heads on here along with the one on top. So the screwdriver gives you a good idea of, you know, just in case you're dealing with all sorts of different laptops, you'll have like a screw head for each sort of laptop that you might encounter. It is very important that you don't have a magnetic tip on top of the screwdriver. Again, this is, you know, you might think this is, you know, useful for picking up all those small parts or something like that. But if you wave the magnetic tip over the motherboard of the laptop, there's a very good chance that you are going to fry that motherboard and you are basically going to have to buy a new computer at that point. Just one other thing I'd like to note, I know anti-static bags and anti-static mats are sort of a popular topic that comes about when repairing computers. Me personally, I don't feel these are really necessary as far as fixing a computer, just because there's plenty of options to sort of make yourself safe as far as when you're starting to repair a computer. Either A, ground yourself on any sort of metal object, you know, something where you can release your static energy, or B, just working on like a cement floor or any sort of non-carpeted floor. In that case, you should be pretty safe as far as doing any sort of repairs and as far as that go. And you know, most houses are going to have like a, you know, non-carpeted floor, such as the garage or maybe a workbench in the basement. If you travel a lot, I'd say potentially you'd want to get like an anti-static mat and anti-static bags. But if you're just doing it, you know, from your house, I'd say if you've got a concrete floor or if you just ground yourself, you should be okay. If you ever need any more tips on how to fix your computer, go to the link above. And you should find a bunch of videos done from other MATC students as well as far as IT support. And, you know, they should have pretty much any article that you're looking for as far as computer support.